Hey.
Oh,
we're live?
Oh, see?
It looks like we've been live.
I know. It looks like we've been live.
For 7 whole minutes. Y'all heard us? Did y'all hear us in the background?
Nah, they didn't hear us.
My mic was
What's up, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm all looking down at shit. Welcome to the Aging Potheads. And once again, we are on Pothead time.
We actually made good time this week. That's why we, instead of saying 7, we say 7-ish. Because they gotta get here, we gotta get set up.
Y'all go ahead and right now take your time to share this out to your friends.
Please. We got some interesting things to talk about tonight, and I know last week we said we was done talking about this food, but it just keeps getting better and better and better. So I did see somebody was clowning today. They said Sheen dropped Kanye too. Fashion Nova dropped Kanye. Mario's West Side Market.
I know. There's a whole lot of people dropping Kanye today.
Mario's West Side Market.
Oh man, y'all.
Niggas don't never take that serious.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and share that out to my folks. Y'all go ahead and share it out to your folks. What up, Lakeisha? What's up? Now,
where's Shay at? Because I know Shay wanted to get on.
But before we get into this, y'all, let's
Oh yeah, let's take a smoke.
Can I borrow your lighter?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll use this torch.
That's right there. Take one for the cause.
Hee hee. Oh. Hee hee. All right.
Y'all.
Now this what?
That is Durban Poison.
I'm smoking some of Boss Weed this week, y'all.
All right, what we're smoking on tonight is Durban Poison. It is a great legendary sativa. One of the old school, one of the first named strains. And it is a sativa dominant hybrid. It hits you pretty fast.
Okay, all right.
Hits you pretty fast, hits you pretty good with that head high. Real cerebral. So you'll be thinking about shit. You can get some laundry done, get some shit done. Get some writing done. Hey, we there.
Okay.
When you got this Durban Poison, that's why with the Durban Poison, I gave Durban Poison 4.5 blunts.
Shay said, "What up? We rolling us. They rolling as we speak. All right. So we can get y'all a little minute to catch up.
Yeah.
And Diddy Bop on in here, y'all hit the like and share button if y'all can. Like I said, we got some interesting rhetoric to bring up about Kanye.
Mr. Man.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, I mean, did we want to start there first?
I'm not going to start there because I want to start with something. What's up, Shay? What you rolling up tonight? Let us know what you rolling up tonight. I'm going to start with the school shooting in St. Louis, y'all.
Oh yeah.
And I know it could, I know sometimes we get on here and talk about some good shit, but sometimes, like one day last week, Token Tony said, "You know what? Sometimes I just like to sit here and smoke and watch the world burn." And sometimes it feel like that when you're smoking. You don't want none of this shit to fuck up your high.
Hey, I got bad news. My computer is not working. Like, I'm not the broadcast.
Oh, you're not?
No, just keep talking. I'll catch up.
All right, no worries, man.
Worries.
You just came out of the timeline.
You want my iPad?
No, he's gonna restart.
Oh, okay.
But this a few days ago,
This nigga said Team Kanye. Shay just like want to argue. He didn't already be halfway riled up.
Hey, Justin, welcome to the show. one thing I wanna cut to here is that there was a school shooting in St. Louis on Monday. I believe it was Monday. 2 people lost their lives. Some folks were injured.
I saw that.
They caught the gunman, and you know, we get tired of school shootings. You know what I mean?
I do get that. It's to the point now where, like, I saw it, and it's to the point where I don't even give it the same reactions anymore. It's kind of like, what else is new? You know, and it's unfortunate but that was my exact. I scroll on my timeline every day, and I just see a whole bunch of like the shit is literally burning down around us, and I'm just scrolling like, okay, I don't have the mental bandwidth anymore to process or emotionally any of that anymore. You know, I just pray that, you know, and I know this is gonna sound fucked up. I pray that it doesn't happen to anybody that, you know, and I don't even want to say that because that's gonna come out really wrong. I just wish that none of it happened. Because was this a black guy that did it?
I don't know. They still haven't showed the picture, but his name, I'm not gonna mention his name.
Sounds.
Yeah, his name sounds blackish.
Seems like he's not melanin deficient.
But he's also in they're also in the Midwest where the names sort of get intertwined.
Shay said, this is some trees that a friend left here from last weekend, so this blunt is sponsored by close friends.
Hey, I get it.
Right. Probably, yeah. So.
I get it. We smoking on the Durban Poison tonight, but I don't want anybody to get desensitized to school shootings.
Yeah, I don't want to get desensitized to school shootings either. I don't want to get desensitized to none of this shit. But how am I supposed to get up and go do the shit that I got to do day in and day out? Or worry, you know, like I'm worried about my daughter. You know, she can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a child in school. You know, and it's. I don't know how you not kind of close yourself up emotionally to that happening, you know, like, because we see it so much. Like, how do you not?
Exactly.
How do you not react? React to it?
And
I'm sorry.
Trust me, I'm all for, you know, it goes back to we can start pointing fingers other than, you know, we can start pointing fingers and we, you know, one side points at the other. One side says it's the weapons. Sometimes it's the person. Yeah. Sometimes we're dealing with a person who is not mentally stable and their access to that weapon. But we haven't also started we don't take mental illness seriously until something happens. We become reactionary. We react. You know what I mean?
We do. And that's not to say that, you know, like having those kind of struggles on my own, you know, you know, this might be a little insensitive too, but you know, everybody is dealing with something. That doesn't give you the right to get up and take a gun and go off 1 million people like that. What gives you the right to get up and do some shit like that? Versus like, I lost my job too. Then nobody like me too. You know, like I did, you know, whatever.
The note this guy left seemed real juvenile.
Yeah, like I didn't have no girlfriend. I didn't nobody love me. I'm poor, woe is me, you know, type of shit. And I don't have, you know, even though I empathize, but again, we've all been there. Well, most of us, you know, we have to, and a lot of us don't even have a lot of support either. We have to get up and figure the shit out, or just
alone.
Yeah, alone and push through. Like, it doesn't give you an excuse to be able to. Let's see.
You know,
Shay said, Justin said, he said, bingo. I hope you win. Let's see. Shay says, wait, are kids still bullying kids when they know this mofo may come back strapped?
Well, you know what, Shay?
Absolutely.
I think it's the fact that we all had when we were children. We don't think that person really gonna come back and shoot you. You know, I've been places where I said, I wish this motherfucker come back and fight me. And they sometimes come back and fight me. You know, but you never really think somebody's going to come with a gun. And this guy graduated from this school last year. So what was going on? You know what I mean? I'm really.
But a lot of like we all look at it as like, yeah, everybody got bullied. I've been the bully. I've been the bullied. Like I've, like I think most people can say that they've experienced both sides of this. And no, you don't think that somebody's going to come back, or you don't know how that person will handle that, and come back and, flip all, I say this shit, I say it all the time in a joking, I'll flip all this shit over, because, but, like, I'm a person who's cognizant of if I do flip all this shit over, it's consequences for me. For as somebody who's been locked up, who's dealt with really big consequences for some shit I did, just on a whim. That I made that decision and then I had to pay for it. So.
But based on his note, that note could have been a suicide note because it's like he said that's the perfect storm for a mass shooting. So you're telling me, sir, what you're telling me is
that you can't put up an insanity.
You ain't got no.
You know exactly what you was doing.
You ain't got no bitches. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got this. You ain't got that.
You're not cooler than me.
I'm gonna go shoot up the school.
Yeah.
We technically, bro, and I'm not. You know what? I was about to say something that I shouldn't have said.
I was gonna say it, but then don't. It's consequences.
There's consequences to what's
but
gonna
nobody
be
know
said.
who we are. They don't give a fuck about us right now.
It sounded like, bro. It sounded like you didn't want to be here anymore.
I mean,
and I'm gonna leave it at that.
I mean, but to me that it's like picking up a phone and crying into the phone. Like to me, it's like you want people to feel sorry for you. You want people to anything. There's a lot of things that I go through day in and day out that a lot of people don't know about because unless I tell you. Yeah. I don't get up and get on the phone and cry and but that's all this generation knows how to do. They don't know how to not go through shit without.
Yeah, was he hoping to have a confrontation? Because
like, what were you? What was the outcome? What was the goal?
Because let's be clear, when they found him, he had ammo.
Yeah, he was ready. He had a lot of ammo.
He was ready. He had time that day.
He was ready.
I think he was ready to have it out with the police, but they got there too fast for him. And everybody was barricaded in their rooms, and I'm not finna joke, but I'm finna tell you about the resilience of Black children. The teacher said, oh, they were all huddled and they didn't make a noise. I said, that's because they was waiting for that motherfucker to try it.
Yeah.
Because one thing I know about kids, this was a high school, and I know these kids are like, we tired of this shit. So if he come in here, we're not going to be sitting ducks. I think they was in there huddling because they was going to jump his ass if he got into one of those doors.
Probably, it's a part of like our life now that shit like this happens. So unless you're living under a rock somewhere, then like you kind of know. And now they have drills in school for a lot of this stuff. Now it's like an earthquake drill. Like when we had earthquake drill, now we got a school shooting drill. Everybody got a lockdown. This is the escape plan. This is how we get out of here. Yeah, and blah blah blah. It might not even get to that, but
depending on where you live, you have earthquake drills.
Yeah, depending on where you live.
It's a California thing. You tell people like earthquake drills. Yes, in California we have earthquake drills.
Earthquakes on the East Coast too.
But they probably have one a year.
One every 17 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about they may have a earthquake drill once a year. Yeah. But here we have them once a month like fire drills. Yeah. There was an earthquake in the Bay Area the other day too. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hi, buddy. But yeah, I just said earthquake drill because like a fire drill. It's just you're just trying to plan for those types of emergencies when they do happen. So now I'm pretty sure that they have school shooting drills.
The funny part is politicians in Texas, instead of talking about ways to control guns and keep guns out of certain people's hands, which, I agree to. I believe everybody should if you want to own a gun, fine. But if you don't have the mental capacity or the legality to own one, then you shouldn't. However, their answer to school shootings is to make sure all the kids are DNA tested.
For what?
So that if a school shooting ever occurs,
they can
identify them. What people don't understand is that some of these bullets that they use, some of these guns are so high powered that when they hit a young child, they decimate the child. They destroy the child. You know, we're not talking about movie shit here. You
don't need their DNA. You just need their school records. Like they at school. You can look on the thing,
do a head count.
Do a head count to find out. Okay, this child isn't here, or this way. You don't need DNA.
That's one of them silly things. It's like
that's one of the things that they trying to do so they can get your shit and have it and put it. I see what they trying to do.
See if your parents did some shit.
Right, or just keep your shit on file so they ain't no telling what they finna do with that.
But school shootings, I believe they're preventable. I believe there's signs. I believe there's ways you can. Let's go back to Columbine. The signs were there. I believe people chose to ignore them.
And you said signs were there as far as like how
they were
acting.
Yes, their behaviors, and they dismiss them as things. Certain things get dismissed as just boys being boys, and now,
of course,
I get that. And unfortunately, now we have to say boys because remember, it used to be a particular type of young man. I'm gonna stop using boys because that's what happens when they shoot somebody. They call them boys. When we shoot somebody, they call them men. They all men to me. You know what I mean? But we right now it's starting to become all men. So what's going on with our men? What's going on to make them say, hey, fuck that, my life can't go right. I'm going to go fuck up everybody else's life. You know what I mean? Hey, Shalonda, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Shalonda, girl.
So it's like...
I mean, there's a lot of things that can contribute to, society. If we just look at, specifically with men, men don't want to be looked at or don't have maybe the same. But nowadays we have more. No, it's still not looked upon. Those are one of those double standards that men have to deal with.
Yes.
And we all have them. So can we just stop with the battle of the sexes on that? The double standard for men is men aren't supposed to be emotional. They're not supposed to be. They can't, and if they do, they look like they're pussy and all this kind of stuff, which is stupid, But you as a man, do you tell your homeboy like, listen, hey, bro, you can come talk to me if something's wrong, or you can say this, or do y'all hold each other accountable? Y'all don't like to hold yourselves accountable.
We have to get there, and men are just like you said. Men are just now being taught that. It's safe enough to be sensitive. It's safe enough to
go to therapy
to express your feelings. And yes, y'all, therapy. Go to therapy.
It's an option. Especially with African American men, you can't. It's a whole lot going on with that over there. And that might be a whole other show.
Yeah.
But just with that, we try to now, wasn't always like that. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. I can tell you,
I see more, support groups and things like that. Because it's just one of those things that unfortunately men have to deal with.
But we have to normalize it. We have to normalize seeing, hey. We got to normalize just checking in with your boy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What's going on? You've been acting a little weird lately. Let me just,
or even just for no reason. I have friends who will check up on me. You know what I mean? Even if we were just talking in a group, even if nothing's wrong, they say, hey, how are you doing? We need to normalize that because sometimes they feminized a lot of feelings that everybody has.
That's
You know
that
what I mean?
manosphere shit.
Yeah. And, it's seen as a weakness for a man to have problems. It seems a weakness for a man to be sensitive to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a sensitive kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, going back to the school shootings, I was bullied because I was fat, all sorts of other shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had the motivation to say, I'm going to go just shoot up all these motherfuckers. I'm going to just shoot all these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Denise, welcome to the show. But I never said, you know what? I think I'm going to grab a gun and go shoot him. Even when it became apparent that I had access to weapons. Mm-hmm. Never said, I'm going to go to school and shoot this one guy or shoot these kids up. Now, technically, when it comes to school shootings in African-American children, we do tend to go after an individual. We don't go to shoot up the school.
Yeah, we just...
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right or more correct.
Yeah, the beef is with...
The beef, yeah, but...
Is right or a word?
I don't know if right... we're going to make it a right or...
Hold on, let me tell you how I feel about the English language and my making up words right now.
Okay, let me take a hit too, or maybe I'll be on the same page.
I thought he had a chicken wing, and I forget that's his pipe. I was about to be like, how you have a whole chicken wing just at the desk like that?
But if anybody gonna smoke something out of chicken wing, it's gonna be Tony. It's gonna be Tony.
But
go
ahead. You were saying.
They do go after individuals, and I'm not saying it's more correct. I'm just saying, let's take that case back in Texas a couple years back. A couple years back, there was a guy bullying. There was two kids, high school kids. One boy was bullying another boy. Mm-hmm. One day, the boy who was being bullied brought a gun to school, and this guy let in on it. He said, "Hey, I'm not with your shits today. I'm not with it."
You're
he said,
thin ice, pal.
"Yeah, don't fuck with me today." And it was two black kids. When he kept fucking with him, he pulled out the gun and shot him. He didn't kill him. He shot him, and then he heard a teacher on the ricochet. And they're trying to call it a school shooting that they averted. And one of the things that came out of that, and this is a little on a tangent, is that the victim's mother was like, "My boy is nice. He's this, he's that." But then they showed her the video. Mm-hmm. You said, "Oh, that's not my son." Yes, that is your son. That's your son.
Yeah, that's your son.
Being told to leave another kid alone.
And he kept fucking with him.
Yeah.
He walked around and found out.
Yeah, but once again, all school shootings is wrong. We need to teach our children, not just boys, girls also, young men, young women. We also need to teach them how to handle these feelings. And I don't think there's enough in the school resources to handle these feelings. When you're growing up, you got so much other shit to deal with, but you also then have to deal with how your hormones are reacting to you, how your body is developing, how your brain is developing, and how you feel about things. And being told to suck it up is not works anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
No, that doesn't work anymore. But I think what goes along with that too is like there's things that are on a larger scale now because we have social media now. Mm-hmm. These kids don't know how to cyberbullying is a thing. Which would have never been a thing in my, which was never a thing in my. It's just snap, close it, walk away.
But we had notebooks in our day.
We did.
You remember you had that thing where they wrote your name down and people said bad shit about you.
Oh yeah, list.
And that list was passed around the school. That's where we were. But back then,
you may or may not have known about the list. I mean, I'm pretty sure if your name was on it, you knew that your name was on it.
Yeah.
And I probably heard about, I don't know.
And y'all, we're not talking about like a hit list. There was.
Just this girl sucked so dick in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was like
third period.
It was like the high school almanac.
Yeah,
it had all the dumb shit in it.
Yeah, so and so was caught in the bleachers.
What was that?
You're talking about the one in Chicago?
What, the list?
That the teacher had.
No, that's a hit list. Or did they have another type of list? Because this list is like a list. When we were in school, when I was in school, they called it something else. But other kids used to make notebooks and pass it around and talk about who do you hate or who's this. And sometimes it was just a notebook on shit of just about one person. And so, that's how we got around. I mean, they call it cyberbullying now. But back in the day, that's what you had. You had a notebook. You had a whole notebook.
I remember that for some reason because, this weed is really good.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought you were talking about, did you guys hear about that teacher in Chicago?
No.
Told one of the students about a hit list. Come find out that very student that she told, she was on that list as well.
Wow. Oh, the teacher had a hit list.
Yeah, the teacher.
Oh, wow.
Straight up.
No, I didn't hear about
I
the
didn't
teacher.
follow up on it, so I'll follow it up on it and post it later in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently, Token Tony is saying that there's a teacher in Chicago that had a hit list of students she wanted to kill because she's sick of y'all kids coming to school and not sitting the fuck down and listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, as an adult, listen, because I'm definitely one of those people that like fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Except my
but don't shoot them kids.
But don't shoot the kids. Like don't kill the kids. You're the adult.
Yeah.
Kids.
Chicago, Indiana. I'm gonna put it on the actual Facebook page now.
Okay.
Okay, he'll put that on the Facebook for
He's
y'all.
gonna put it on the Facebook so you guys can kind of know what we're referencing. Yeah, I mean, like if you're dealing with kids, any group of kids, like there's gonna be those kids who just don't, whose parents, aren't there, or whose parents ain't taught them no home training or nothing like that. And those kids are gonna probably be the ones that are the problem. I saw a video today of this girl. I don't know if it was her grandma or somebody else's grandma, but this girl, pink wig and all, was literally beating this old lady up, like just chunking it with him. And I'm just looking at this like, like, are you kidding me? Whose grandma is this? Like, I didn't even look at it. I didn't want to get myself riled up, get emo, and that's the thing, and that's what I mean when I'm saying going, kind of having to disassociate because it's so
you have
much.
to, but when it comes to violence, and I'm gonna say this, y'all, if you rude and being an asshole, anybody can get it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That kind of, you just attract that kind of energy, and you just put that out there.
You know what? I'm just saying.
Subject, but like this is somebody's granny. You know, like when you just see it, like granny. If granny being dead, but she's granny. You really gonna whoop somebody granny ass? Like just if you don't walk away from that lady and push her ass down or something, like
I'm gonna go get somebody.
I'm gonna go get my granny.
Yeah, my granny gonna come back and whoop your granny ass.
My granny gonna come back and beat your granny ass. You know, like something like that.
There's gonna be some equal shit going on, but anybody can get it. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, anybody can. You know, like don't think that you too big to get your ass whooped.
Exactly.
If you just putting that kind of energy out, but there are people who just feel like, on the opposite end of that, who just feel like they don't care how you go, what you feel like.
Hey Vivian, thank you for watching.
Hey Vivian.
But yeah, I'm thinking to myself, and that leads to another thing about anybody can get it. It's like, why do we bother folks like that? You know what I mean? Because there's certain subjects that if you touch on, it's gonna be instant Black Air Force energy.
Black Air Force One.
It's gonna be straight Air Force Ones in Black Air Force One's energy. Hey Sabrina, thank you for joining us.
Sabrina.
But in the comments, y'all, before we move on, in the comments, what are some non-negotiable things that's just gonna give you that energy?
Gonna give you Black Air Force.
That's gonna give you Black Air Force One energy. Now,
Shay said, "I don't know if I can watch an old lady getting her ass kicked by a young person. Now, two old people can fight to the death." But I don't know if I feel like that too. I feel like I wouldn't want nobody to, granny, especially somebody probably could have got it off on my granny.
Yeah.
Because my granny was old and mean and ornery. Like, she didn't have no friends. Like, my grandma probably could have definitely got her ass whooped back in the day talking to the wrong person.
My granny can fight.
But my granny can fight. So, and my mom used to always say, like, you like your granny. Like, you feisty like her. Yeah. So, me and my mom were kind of, like, But I very much feel the older I get, the more I evoke that kind of energy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just getting old and sick of shit, but you know, like I very much am like this old lady here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I could
Yes.
just see somebody tearing off in somebody old lady
Mm-hmm.
ass. Like, come on now, you 20 years old. Like, this lady can barely breathe.
But let us know. But let us know what instantly gives you that Black Air Force One.
Yeah, what's some shit that's
energy. Now, for those who don't know what Black Air Force Ones is, it's a running joke where people who are real, I don't want to use real rough,
just sick as shit.
Just sick as shit.
Your energy is always on 10. You ready for whatever. You don't.
And those people are normally wearing Black Air Force Ones.
They might be dirty. They might lean a little.
Yeah.
You know, the Black Air Force One very much matches the energy that this person is putting out. Like they very, you know,
like black jelly bean energy.
Yeah. They stink probably. They're probably all worn out.
Black licorice energy, you know.
Like, so when we say Black Air Force One energy, that just means that somebody who's just either had it to here, and about to pop off.
Now, speaking of what had it up to here, I've had it up to here with Mr. West or
Mr. West.
Somebody left one name, Kanye. I don't give a fuck you change the name to Ye.
Oh, okay. Well, Tony's clearly sick of Ye shit.
See, there goes some Black Air Force One energy.
Air Force One energy out there in the corner. Like,
but
I don't know. We got some Team Kanye people in the comments. I'm
been
interested in hearing how.
Mr. Ye has been taking L's all week.
Yes.
Accountability is accountability. We can look at it as such. You can say, hey, he's being held accountable for things he's said, things he's done. And folks are distancing themselves. Mm-hmm. We're starting to see all the statements. You know, remember back in 2020, people started making the virtue standing statements and things like that. My question is, can Kanye come back from this? Can he come back from this?
I don't know. I feel like we've let Ye slide with a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. Just off of some of the things this is definitely not George Bush hates black people Kanye. Mm-hmm. This is very much, a whole different kind of Kanye. Mm-hmm. I just think that, he's very much proven exactly what he said, what was happening, but I'm trying to think, why didn't anybody think that was going to happen anyway? We already know how the system works. We already know how, you can't just, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Yeah. Like I said, I could yell bomb on the airplane. There's going to be consequences for when I yell bomb on the airplane. You can't just say what the fuck you want to say and think that you're not going to be held accountable and you're not going to lose relationships. Now, granted, you might have wanted to lose some of these relationships, but, at what cost? Like, what, people are distancing themselves from you because that's not good for their brand. And even if they do agree with you, they have to worry about the people that support their brand too. So no, you can't just, like whatever he said. If it comes across insensitive, and everybody knows the Jews have the plug on the entertainment and the media and all of that. So why would you go and piss these people off? And think that we and everybody keeps saying, well, how come they didn't get upset because because niggas don't hold Kanye accountable for what he say. Now, y'all don't hold him accountable. Y'all still go buy his shoes.
Exactly. So, I believe Kanye's not going to come back from this. He's going to have to reinvent himself, and he's going to be that person. You know what I mean? He's going to be that guy. But where are his friends? Where are these friends that he said his new friends? No, I'm talking about his new friends, not the old friends. I'm talking about the new friends that he supposedly was hanging with. Where was they at? Why are they?
He was a new friend. Look, I keep pointing at the TV because I have Jason Leon in the background, and he brought up some really good stuff about because he actually worked with him. He was supposed to be his publicist. And one of the things he was saying was that okay, you going over there working with him. That's not watch. He gonna do this shit to you too.
On top of Kanye losing his Adidas deal, he also tried to walk into Skechers today.
And Skechers was like, well, to put it, he showed up to Skechers unannounced and just tried to get in the door, and they was like, nah, bruh. Like, nah, we not.
Like he was.
Don't bring that over here.
Yeah, like he was college dropout Kanye.
Yeah, don't the Jews own Skechers? Jewish people own Skechers.
Yeah,
so, what the fuck?
Let's get out.
Why?
Let's get out of saying the Jews.
I know the Jews.
Stop saying the Jews. That's like when people say the blacks.
Blacks. That was like rubbing salt into the wound, though. You're going to say something about people, and then you're going to show up at business that's owned by them.
Yeah, like who do you think you are? Yeah. Like who do you think you are?
Yeah. So,
like you have to stop. Like I that doesn't mean that I mean I've kind of been off that bandwagon a long time ago with him. But we are for some reason we always like to just forgive everything. We want to invite everybody to the cookout. We want to just
but we shouldn't have gave Kanye. We shouldn't have gave Kanye a pass.
We shouldn't have.
We should have been holding him accountable, at least calling him out for it.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't mean that he couldn't have been forgiven for a lot of the stuff, which y'all forgave him anyway. Like he said,
he'll apologize, he'll bounce back. But and this is my thing, I believe, and this is just my opinion, it's getting a bit extreme. There's accountability, but then there's a point to where we're talking about cancel, but it seems like they're showing they're trying to erase this guy now.
They're showing him, you think you can't get canceled because, or you think that you could say this and we ain't got. You have to understand the biggest outlets that control anything that really gets out, aside from because even YouTube, if I say some shit on YouTube that they don't deem is appropriate content or pushing hate rhetoric, they're gonna dox it. They're gonna. They're gonna demonetize it, or they're gonna, do whatever to it.
I know you put canceling Kanye too far, but this, like I said, canceling is more or less you're gonna get a smack on the wrist. You're gonna apologize. You go on your campaign on the talk shows, and then about 6 months later, you do your press stuff.
About it.
But it sounds like they're trying to destroy this man in a way, sort of like Bill Cosby. Not defending Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby is a piece of shit. And that's a whole nother show subject for me. But they're also hurting other people in the process, people who may be innocent. You know what I mean? And in Kanye's case, there's organizations where he was doing good for the community, and now those organizations are in limbo. There's people who are like, I'm no longer donating to this cause.
But whose fault is that?
No, I get that.
That's his fault.
I understand that, but are we gonna?
If he would just stop.
But are we gonna hold kids? Are we gonna punish kids just to hold Kanye accountable? You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things. Yeah, it's almost like, say, for example, Kanye may have started the organization, but does he run it? If he's on the board of directors should get away to say, hey. We kicked Kanye out the group.
We voted him out.
We voted him off. He no longer is involved in the day-to-day operations of this organization. Let's go on with that. Now, people might say yes, it's right. Some people might say no, it's wrong. But if Kanye was putting the most money into it, then I think we got to say, okay, his money backed it. We got to stop that. But I think
it just depends on and I think that's kind of what's happening now. I don't think Adidas wanted to end their relationship. I think they were pressured into because now you have the people that work for the because I'm pretty sure there's Jewish people that work for Adidas saying, hey, what he said offended me, and I work for you. What are you gonna say about
that's what happens.
A relationship. So, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he can just say, he can feel it however he wants to feel.
Exactly. Now, on a whole entirely different subject, but related to this Kanye issue, is the fact that did Kanye break the social contract? Now, for those who don't know what the social contract is, the social contract is like this invisible contract that white supremacy has with the other races.
Okay.
Like, things aren't supposed to be done. This is just the way it is. You got to follow this because this is your part in this contract. This is our part. We're going to oppress you. You're to complain about it, but don't go too far. Mm-hmm. We're going to give you certain things. We're going to put certain money use up on pedestals to keep some of y'all quiet. But those people we put up better not come back. Now, during slavery, whenever a slave ran away, talked back to an overseer or something like that, they were publicly humiliated and beaten. Mm-hmm. Just to let them know they're not above. Say this person was like the prize slave. He was always up on the pedestal with the master. Mm-hmm. But they do something wrong, or the master feels like that person got out of line. They were publicly beating to take them down a notch. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, to me, is this a message? Is this a message?
Absolutely.
Is this a message saying, "Hey, y'all other motherfuckers who think that y'all got this type of thing," and I'm talking about specifically, I shouldn't say specific. I should say people of color. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we put you there. You're only a billionaire because we allowed you to be a billionaire.
Well, technically, apparently, he's not even a billionaire no more.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But who made that determination? Who
made the people that made him a billionaire?
No, listen. Who was the determination to say this is a billionaire? Mm-hmm. Forbes, right? Mm-hmm. And regardless of what you may have in your bank account, Forbes can come out tomorrow and say, "Fuck, you ain't on the list no more." These people define what you are. Mm-hmm. So they say, we put you there, we can take you down. You know, almost the whole comment about, they told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. Mm-hmm. Or we allowed you to do this. Look at you. We let you be rich. Who do you let be rich? Uh-huh. They starting to say the silent part out loud now. So they're saying basically, yeah, you can do this, do that, but when you get too far, we're gonna check you, and then we'll destroy you if we have to.
I think that I think there is a direct correlation between what I don't think that when I said Kanye's a billionaire or he's not a billionaire anymore, like people, because everybody's an expert on this shit. Mm-hmm. But if you've been to any sort of business class or anything like that, just because he's a billionaire doesn't mean he has a billion in assets.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are his assets. That means these contracts, because Adidas lost money, no, Gap lost money. They went down in stack just for severing their relationship. So he's not the only one losing money.
Yeah, but
we don't want to be stuck because we're getting pressured to stop fucking with you because you keep saying the shit that you say, and then you can come out and say, because apparently he's trying to run for president.
Again.
So, if he does run for president and he loses, then he can say, well, Trump said whatever, but you're not Trump. Exactly. And that's why white lives matter, because Trump was able to do this, but I can't, you have to understand the very true reality. It doesn't matter how much money you have, Kanye, you're not the complexion for the thing, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
There is that's what I said. There's very much a system, that dictates.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the social.
What goes on around
that's
here.
That's what the social contract is.
That's what
that's
social
about.
contract. Yes.
And
that's why when black people nobody got mad when he said what he said about it. They didn't care about that. Niggas don't own nothing substantial like that. Yeah. We just don't. It's the truth. We don't have the resources to fully shut us.
But see, that leads to another subject about us holding each other publicly accountable. Yeah. We don't like being held publicly accountable, but sometimes we have to, or it's seen as we're on the side. Like when it happened,
Just to say we're gonna watch it.
Exactly.
He was trying to get me to watch this interview, and I just refused.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna watch it.
You have to. You got.
Yeah, because I do want to give. I don't want to just base an opinion based off of like the opinions that I have now are just either the fallout from that and what I know to be, like my personal experiences with some of the things that Kanye has said in the past. Doesn't mean that I don't agree with anything that's happening.
Yeah.
Like as far as what he's saying or what I mean, we see very much, but like we knew this already. Like, so I'm trying to figure out, like why he didn't expect a lot of this to happen. Like,
because he was enabled. People allowed him to get away. Even with Mr. Trump, it's the same way. There are people in place who allowed him to get who created and fostered an environment for him to be this cocky. For him to do that. Let alone let's just take his privilege out of it, right? Let's just take the fact that there was a bunch of folks around him.
Tucker Carlson interview and then Justin the Drink Champs. Yeah.
Well, the Drink Champs interview was taken down.
Yeah. But people have it. I think people who did catch it.
Yeah. There's ways to get it. Yeah, there's ways to get it. Yeah.
It's still people that were.
But it's like, to me, it's at a point to where some people are painting him as a victim and as a martyr. To me, part of me believes, they just gave him enough rope to hang himself. Not literally, people. Not literally. Because I know there's some of you young kids out there who don't understand old sayings.
Yeah.
And I want y'all sensitive asses to get on Twitter.
Told Kanye to go hang himself.
Yeah, he told Kanye to kill himself.
Cancel him.
No,
we're not saying that. We ain't even nothing to be canceled. Yeah, at this point, we just giving our useless ass opinions just like everybody else is. Because at the end of the day, like these are opinions. We're having just a debate. He said, did you see what Russell Simmons posted about it? No, what did he say?
Yeah, you got to look at that. I only saw some of it, but he said it in true Russell style.
Okay, can somebody, just so we can get some other, another perspective? Because like, what do you guys think? Like, tell it. We're just we're giving our opinions, but what do you guys think is happening?
Yes,
like,
and I don't.
Type it in the comments.
Like I said, type it in the comments where you are. Type in the comments where you stand on this Kanye issue.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
No judgment here. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm too high to argue with you.
I think we all too high to argue, but it's a debate, because we had kind of talked about it a little earlier, in our group chat. So, I told him that, this is kind of what we was going to be talking about. So, we can very much, like it's not. It might be a different perspective that, like maybe I'm missing something, and I'm like.
That interview was 3 hours long?
Huh? The Drink Champs?
That's an interview with Drink Champ?
That's a 3 hour, Yeah,
that's more than 3 hours.
I found the full 3 hour one, and I found the part where it just goes straight to the anti.
Yeah, no, it's 3 hours. Yeah,
let's go. If I was you,
drop both of them in the links.
Okay. Yeah, you drop both in the links.
Yeah, drop the.
But yes, folks, no matter where you stand, it's a sad situation all around. I believe Kanye needs to get help, and I hope he gets the help that he needs.
And do y'all think that he can come back from this? Like, what do you think is the goal? What is the objective? Like, what is all this for?
And that question is for everybody. If you watch the replay, if you want to tell us now, hell, if you want to hit us up on our emails and tell us your thing, because I know some people don't like giving their opinions. Go ahead and hit us up and let us know.
We might revisit it next time and be like,
exactly.
By the way, which is our 10th episode.
Yeah, our 10th episode coming up, y'all. We done did 10 of these motherfuckers.
10 of these. Don't even feel like it. I know. I'm going to get a better back. We don't liven this shit up over here, y'all. Just work with us. It's very basic right now as far as like the
But let's be clear, y'all here for the conversation.
But we just sitting and talking. Yes. But Keish says I've seen a few interviews and I'm on the fence. At first, I thought he was crazy as hell, but now I don't know. I mean, and just no answer is the right answer. Like,
yeah, we don't know. We don't know what's going on.
He might come back and be like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Exactly.
We don't know.
Exactly.
But I feel like the way that we know things to be in this society and the way that we judge people for shit that we do every day in this motherfucker.
Exactly.
And the way we don't hold each other accountable for shit that, or if we like the person, we let them slide with shit. Yeah. Same person do the same shit. Yes. We want to cancel everything about them. So I feel like, there is some kind of, like even if, like I said, even if he did want to do all this stuff, wanted all some of these relationships, at what cost? Like, okay, you couldn't have found a loophole to just go in there and say, like, you know what, I don't like the way this is going. Yeah. Is there a way we can get out of this? I don't know. Well, that's just my thought.
That only happens after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my thought on it. Like, that doesn't,
Yeah, and accountability is accountability. And on the other thing here, y'all, we don't switch gears. When it comes to accountability, goes to a show I've been watching. I watched Black Ink Crew, which just started. Black Ink's New York.
Okay, the original.
Yeah, the original. Okay. And for those who are unaware, it's a reality show about a tattoo shop rather.
Like one of them actually tattooed, and like the other one is just there.
Sometimes you never really see folks. See folks working,
but it's a reality show. So
however, the owner, Caesar, was Cesar, whatever you want to call himself, was seen abusing an animal on video.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And now everybody got up in an uproar and things like that. For one, I'm not for any type of cruelty, animal cruelty or not. However, there were some things that were sort of glaring at me, and I'm gonna just say a couple of things that might be controversial, but it may not be. Black folks and dogs don't have a good history here in America.
We don't. We don't give a. We didn't start giving a fuck about dogs until like
ever.
Y'all kept them up in the backyard. Y'all fed them whatever off the table. You didn't. Like.
Now I'm not saying if you're a dog lover, I get it. I understand you're against cruelty, this, and that. But I was thinking of it from a perspective of who goes to Caesar's shop? Who's his audience? Now, listen, VH1 has to do something. The show airs on VH1. VH1 has to take a stand somewhere. What are we going to do? This guy just got in trouble beating dogs. When it comes to folks and dogs, they treat it like you don't.
Listen, you can kill a man, but if they found out you left that dog outside in this heat during the summertime, you going to jail.
Yeah,
big jail.
Exactly. And so I was thinking VH1 has to drop him. They do. They have to not have him appear on their show publicly. And the show is like hinting that he's gonna close the shop or this, and that. But why don't he just do this whole Steve Jobs thing? Remember when Steve Jobs? It wasn't no scandal, but he was being a little bit. He wasn't. The board of directors felt he wasn't taking Apple in the right direction, so they kind of fired him from his own company. Same here with Caesar. I don't think he has a board of directors, but maybe he needs to step down. But I don't believe that Black Ink should close. Maybe the show should be canceled, this, and that. But we also got to think of the audience. Are there going to be people outside their customer base who's going to say, I'm not going to his shop?
I don't know. I think that, I used to watch Black Ink Crew, but I stopped watching it. So I don't know what that audience is now. I feel like, a lot of these reality shows are very highly produced, scripted.
Yes.
And things like that. So I don't know if this is just to get people to watch. We breaking the fourth wall here, just to kind of get people to watch, by putting out this
reality TV always breaks the fourth wall, period. The fourth wall is that, they don't really break. They don't talk to the audience.
Yeah, they don't talk to
the they try to relate to the audience. They're trying to relate to the audience. What Caesar did was wrong. He should be held accountable.
He should.
But the thing is, how is this going to really affect his business? Is his clientele the dog loving type?
I don't know. I would assume that most people, because he's mostly yes, all these other franchises are broken off, but he's mostly like an East Coast. Yeah. So I think that would affect that market over there more than it would us out here. Yeah. And I'm just looking at it as a person that, and yes, I feel like he should be held accountable for the treatment of his animals. But, I feel like if that didn't get out there, like, I don't know if people would have cared about it,
exactly. Let's be clear.
People wouldn't have cared
if I go
about
to New York if I go to New York and I pass by there and I got the money, I'm getting a tattoo there. Okay. I'm not gonna tell y'all either way. I'm gonna go to any one of their locations and I'm gonna get a tattoo. And the reason I say that is, like I said, it goes back to his clientele. Everybody can sit out there and protest outside his thing. But people are still going to go. His base, from what I believe, is African American or Latino, people of color, who got a little money, who want to come to here just to say they did it.
They got a tattoo by season.
Those people are not going to stop doing that unless they are truly dog lovers. So
these people aren't going to walk past. Most of y'all breed fighting dogs. Exactly. Like y'all go. It's like if you walk, if I'm walking down the street and I hear a dog being kicked by its owner, I might just keep walking. I'm not going to involve myself into that. Like I don't know why he kicked the dog. The dog might have shitted all over the place. I don't know. Exactly. I'm not saying that's a reason, but people get frustrated. Like people get frustrated. It's like getting frustrated with your kids. You try to tell them do this and they don't listen, so you might get them legs one time. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what went down. We don't know the context.
I don't know. We just saw it the way people take things out of context all the time on the internet. It's just like that picture.
Let's start using their excuses.
Right.
We don't know the context of that video.
Context of the video.
Maybe the dog bit him. I don't know.
Maybe Yeah.
I'm not. But I say that in jest, but I say that in jest, but we have to understand. How is this really going to affect? VH1 has a reputation to understand. They have to show that whole accountability process if they plan to keep the show on the air. VH1 is only airing it, in my opinion, just because they already put money into it. And they're going to roll with what they got.
They don't want to, and then these kind of shows, everybody, they're not getting the same level of exposure as they would. Because like I said, I haven't seen Black Ink Crew in years.
Black Ink Crew, to me,
none of them. No, not the one in Compton. I'm from Compton.
Exactly. It's good for noise. I gave it 3 blunts because it is a halfway decent show. It is a reality show. I don't expect much out of it, y'all. 3 blunts is for noise.
Okay.
It's just for noise.
Now, what did I say I was watching?
I know you watched. I know you watched the House of Dragons.
Oh yes.
How was that?
Oh yeah. House of Dragon. Episode 10, the season finale. Child, if y'all listen, y'all should have seen it by now. It's been 3 days. Okay. There was just a part where the youngest Targaryen boy. No, well, he was actually Valyrian. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. One of the ones that they said that Queen Rhaenyra had by one of her knights, Strong. Youngest boy pulled up on his little dragon, like he was gonna do something. He looked over to the left and seen that big ass dragon coming over. Oh my God, did y'all see that? If y'all know what I'm talking about, if y'all watch the show, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I shit my pants when I see Vhagar over there in the cut. Like, oh, you thought you was just pulling up with your little ass dragon? I would never want to see that ever. But anyway, it was very a good episode. You know how Game of Thrones is. It wouldn't be Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon if some shit didn't pop off and go horribly wrong at the end.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, it is on HBO Max. I'm assuming you watched it. Girl, did you see Vagar over there when she got her? Did you see how big that bitch was? Like huge.
Yes.
Love the show. You know, I can't wait till season 2. I was going to wait until season 2 came out and then watch the finale so I could, you know. But I just know I see too many spoilers. Spoilers and reaction. Is that why I thought that was motor oil?
Look at you. That's Jägermeister might as well be.
Yeah. Eamon knew he fucked up. He did, so that just says that there's been this people who watch the show. They think the Targaryens control the dragons. They really don't have the control everybody think they got. You know, because they can very much command. Right? She said, "We'll watch it again." Definitely. They can very much, you know, their dragons feel their emotions, but that doesn't mean that they can control those dragons still, because you can hear them saying, no, you know, like, no, don't do that. But now the dragons is locked in. They fighting each other now. They don't give a fuck about who owns them. So now it's their battle. So it was just crazy watching that.
One thing to say. Y'all make me feel very old right now.
Why?
Because y'all talking about the new Dragon Shed, you're watching Black Ink, all this cool stuff. I'm sitting here watching the 90s show.
What are you watching? You still watching The Simpsons?
No, I'm not.
Simpsons is still on the air. Shit.
No, I'm watching what's called The Practice. It's a lawyer show.
Not The Practice.
Yeah, back in the
Lord have mercy.
Go ahead and put that up, man. The Practice. Where's your
We might need to
I'm streaming it on Hulu.
Okay,
yeah, we might need to revisit The Practice. I used to watch The Practice.
I love The Practice. I'm on
Law and Order. I still, get up,
I still watch the old Law and Orders. I do.
Catch me an old Catch Me is the old episode of Law and Order.
She said an old episode.
Old Heat of the Night episode. Every now and again, just if I want to be nostalgic.
The Practice is on Hulu. Yeah. So how many blunts did you give that? The finale?
I personally give it 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I get it. I'll give it that. Only because I already kind of know what's going to happen, because there's the books. And then I watched, or if Keish could chime in, we watched Hellraiser. And I know you watched Black Adam. I want to hear about Black Adam. Hellraiser, I wasn't really familiar with the other Hellraisers. I just remember them when I was a kid, of the movies and the posters and the little pin cushion. I never got the premise of Hellraiser. Yeah, there's a new one.
It's not on Hulu, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Okay, I'm high.
Yeah, no, it's on Hulu.
Told you that Durban Poison be getting you.
She mentioned that old Hellraiser, I'm like, wait, did I put the right one? Okay.
No, it's on Hulu. There's a new Hellraiser that's out that's on Hulu. I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the old one, so I'm not really. But what they were telling me, like Keith said, first of all, Vagar is old as hell with dementia. He was gonna do what he was gonna do.
Well, actually, we back in House of Dragons, huh?
Right? Vagar is actually a girl dragon. I didn't even know that. Vagar is a girl. So she was way. She came when they came and conquered Westeros, so she been around that long. She was one of the sister wives dragons. But
wait, sister wives. Now I want to see the show.
Listen, the Targaryens, all they do is sister fuck over there.
We talking about incest.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're very
literal sister wives.
Yeah, literal. Like marry my sister or my brother.
Yes.
And have kids with them. That's why they were crazy, because you can't mix the blood that they think is keeping it pure.
Yeah.
The whole time y'all fucking up the whole bloodline.
What do you think about the Hellraiser at that point?
How many blunts would you give?
When you said sister wives, but then when you explained it,
What would you give Hellraiser and why?
I would give Hellraiser this one. I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5, only because, like I said, it was never one of those what do you call them, anthologies, I guess, that I wanted to get into.
Yeah.
Like we kind of watched Jason Part 3, I think. Which one was we watching last weekend? I think it was Part 3. And it was just so cheesy. Like, this the one where she was controlling, trying to kill him with her mind and shit. And she was just like, one time she hit him with like she had threw water on him, ran him over, put a house on him, fucking hit him with the light fixture. He went through the stairs and motherfucker kept getting up. Like, it just like
damn.
This is the shit we was getting off and everybody was thought, you know. So I like scary movies like that because they're kind of cheesy. But, you know, I don't know. This one was a little, I don't know. This one was a little bit more meta, I think. But, you know, like, I don't know. I'll give it a 3.5. But now, Black Adam, I gave 3 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. What? 3.5 out of 5. It is. I have to watch it again, but it is okay. I didn't come out of there getting that superhero feeling I get at most superhero movies. It's not because it's not because I'm accustomed to Marvel. I've been watching superhero shit my whole life. But it didn't give me that feels. It gave me the feels, but it came at the end. And then if you guys, I'm not gonna spoil it, but y'all know when y'all get to the end, y'all get that little feels. If not, this is DC, right?
Yeah, this is DC. But I wanted it to give me that feels earlier in the movie. Does that make sense? Yeah. I wanted to get that feel so I could say as they came into the third act of the movie, you know, the climax of the movie, I wanted to be excited, and I wasn't excited. There's some white savior shit going on, y'all, and y'all know the white savior trope. Some white savior shit does occur. Don't get me wrong, it does occur. Including the greatest DC white. No, I'm not gonna. That's spoiling it. But definitely stay behind and watch the mid-credit scene. There's only one mid-credit scene, so make sure you definitely stay and watch past the first set of credits, because you're going to be thoroughly surprised. It was a cool little surprise. Let's just say it was a cool little surprise.
So they doing like Marvel when they do the credits. Have DC always done that?
DC has done it a couple of times, but this one I hope leads to something else. I really do. But the movie itself, it was better than I expected. I expected to give it 2 months. Okay. But it was entertaining. It was action. A lot of folks, like my girl Bunny, always says she doesn't like movies that Dwayne Johnson is in because we get The Rock. She says it's always The Rock. We get the poses,
everything.
You know,
I can see why she would say that, but you know,
this role was sort of created for The Rock. So you're gonna get The Rock, but it's not gonna be that irritating Rock. Like all you did was put The Rock in a superhero movie. That's not the same Rock in every movie he does. This is not gonna be that. Okay. I gave it 3.5 because I was surprised, and it was 3, but a half is because I knew I would go watch it again, and I would enjoy it again.
It's on the Fire Stick. I might have to see if it's on the Fire Stick. Tony had good roles in movies.
No, we're not talking about those.
We're not talking about them kind of movies.
Not talking about them type of movies.
No, I'm saying they used to do background. That's the word. So Hollywood, you guys don't do that?
No, we ain't.
They ain't
talking about the movies they used to play in them little movie houses with the X's on the outside.
Born Identity movie. Remember the last Born movie that was shot here in Vegas?
Or even Rush Hour 3 or 2. Was it 2 when they were here in Vegas? I can't remember.
I want to say 2, might have been 3.
Oh, okay.
No, it was 2 because he said, remember when the guy died, he said he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
Oh yeah. But no, I was in that Miss Congeniality Part 2.
Oh snap! Okay, Tony. Hey, Tony, the only one that's been in the Hollywood movie.
Yeah, no, the last day. Thursday, we got lobster. We got whatever we wanted.
Why you ain't bring me no?
And you know what was funny? We got Union Day. Me and the wife sat there for 8 hours doing nothing. We didn't even go on that.
Wow, see, that's the thing.
Okay,
all right. There you go.
Listen,
now,
I was audition for out here.
Exactly. Now, before we get out of here, let's see what we got on the snack table this week. I believe we got the cookies.
Oh yeah, we got some. Listen, my snack table been kind of dwindling this week. Hey, my apologies for that. But yeah, we got some. What we got here? Tony stole one already. You know how he do. We got some yummy cookies here.
Those are Reese's Pieces Chips Ahoy.
Yum. Definitely gonna eat one of those right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, one of those.
Let us know your favorite snacks when you get the munchies, y'all. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you've been what you've been doing when you've been smoking. You know what I mean? Let us know. Exactly. And join us next week for our 10th show. We're gonna celebrate a little bit because it is our 10th show. It's a lot of hard work brought us here, y'all. We just make it look easy. You can tell we still working out the kinks. You know what I mean? We are really working out the kinks. But definitely, if you want to hit us up at info@theagingpotheads.com. You got Candy with an X.
I gotta get better at memorizing.
At theagingpotheads.com. And you got me, Funky Monk, at theagingpotheads.com. I had to read that off the card. We're gonna get a teleprompter soon.
We don't even know our damn.
Exactly. But definitely, y'all, want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful conversation. It's been a wonderful talk.
Yeah.
Bunny came in. I saw Shalonda, Vivian, Alex.
Thank y'all.
Alex or Sabrina. Shay. Lakeisha been rocking with us the whole show. Man, if I forget you, please don't think it was on purpose. We got Token Tony over there on the boards. Come on, Tony. Say hello for a second. You don't even have to say that. Just show your face. All right. We got Token Tony.
He really just showed his face.
We got Token Tony here. There's our tray, y'all. If y'all want that tray, go ahead and hit us up at info.
Shout out to Sequoia. Me. I usually keep her card up here. But
that information on
hold on, because she calls it something else, and I hate that I'm stumbling right now. But with that information will be on the page. I usually repost her stuff. You see the artwork that's from Love with Tiffany.
Yes.
She does her studio is like on 10. I don't know if she's watching tonight, but
yes.
Her artwork is something else. I really enjoy her personality as well. She always has me laughing. And we just gonna, have different things coming up. We got some different locations we're gonna be shooting at. So keep in tune for that.
Exactly. And make sure you stay tuned to our different social media sites for exclusive content you won't see here on the podcast. That's coming soon. So go ahead and let us know how you feel. Let us know what you want to see. As they say, meditate, medicate. And until next week, y'all, stay lifted, my friends.
We got to get our own.